What is your worst sexual story? When I was about 15, my then girlfriend and I had the day off school and decided we just wanted to have sex all day. Now since we were still living with our parents at the time and I also lived across town from her, I couldn't just ask my parents to drive me over there when her parents weren't home, religious family beliefs, so I had to get up early, and walk a good hour over to her house to get there after her parents left for work. Now when I get there everything's going great for the first few hours, until we hear a knock on the door. We were in a spare room that had a full window that you could see into from the front door. Luckily the shades were down, and here I am, naked, blindfolded and tied to the bed while she quickly throws on a robe and answers the door. Now this whole time, roughly about 10 minutes, I'm tied naked to the bed barely being able to hear what they were saying, crapping myself thinking it was one of her parents. Turned out to just be a family friend that she just got chatting to and couldn't get to leave. Anyway, after that she came back in and profusely started apologizing for leaving me like that and we started going at it again. Couple hours pass, we're having a good time and then we hear someone pulling up the driveway. And we thought it might just be another family friend or something, so she took a peek out the window to see who it was. It was her mother. Her mother hated me for some reason from the very beginning, and even more after she found out we were having sex, so we were both terrified. I ended up hiding under the bed, again completely naked, for about half an hour until her mother left. Now at this point she thought we should just call it a day and both leave the house to avoid any more close calls. Me being an idiot convinced her that we should stay and keep going. So now it's around lunchtime and her mother generally always came home from work for lunch break, so to avoid getting caught I left early and instead of going out the front door and walking the streets, thinking her mom would see me, I decided to take a walking trail that was behind her house and lead to a park, which we would later meet at. Here I am thinking I'm smart walking along. Turn the corner only to be greeted by her mother on the same trail. I crapped myself. The one time she ever decided to walk back from work and take the same path I did happened to be the one time I would have been safe going out the front door. She then later on sat us both down and gave us the sex talk and also threatened me with telling my very religious parents if she found out we kept having sex afterwards. Which, being young and dumb, absolutely didn't stop us. The spider in my bathroom died today. He's been there since about the middle of October. When I first noticed him, the inclination was to squash, but the little guy could really run when he needed to, so I decided to form a truce. It was pretty obvious that he wasn't too interested in humans, so as long as he stayed where he was, I'd leave him. It was getting cold outside and I felt bad about sending him out to die. So that was that. Hubby went after him a few more times but eventually gave up. He became a rent-paying household member, catching the gnats that flew down into his dark little corner. I began talking to him, saying hi, things like that. He never ran when it was just us. He trusted me. He would even wave back a time or two. This morning I went to take a shower to get at the dead skin attacking my feet, and a bottle of body wash fell over the side of the tub into his web. I don't know what he was doing down there. He'd been spending a lot of time close to the ground lately. But I hate myself. I hate that I took a shower this morning. I hate that I didn't just stay in bed with my itchy feet. I hate that I got attached to a stupid spider and now I'm crying so hard I can't breathe. Most people make a throwaway for embarrassing shit like this, but I'm gonna own it. That little spider taught me a powerful lesson about fear and friendship and I'll never forget it. What's the cruelest prank you've ever seen? In high school, one of the cutest girls in my grade came up to me and told me she had a crush on me and wanted to go out on a date. I was skeptical because no one had ever asked me out before, but I was growing into my body pretty well and definitely more attractive than I was as an early teen, so I just figured puberty was doing some good work for me. We were 16, 17 and had both just got our licenses, so she said she'd meet me at the movie theater and we'd go have dinner after the movie. I told my mom and she got all excited and helped me pick out an outfit and took pictures of me before my first ever date. Cringe AF, but you know how it goes. I went and got a haircut in my car detailed so it'd be rolling fresh, you know. And believe me, I was looking tasty. Fresh shave, hair edged up sharp enough to cut glass. I was dripped out before the phrase even existed. So I show up at the theater a couple minutes early and am waiting for her, and after like 15 minutes I think maybe I'll call her to make sure she didn't like have an emergency come up or something. We didn't have texting back then, so I call her and she answers on speakerphone and like 5 other girls are all laughing at me saying things like ha ha ha, he actually showed up, so yeah, it was all just a prank to hurt my feelings. Jokes on me, I guess. What's the dumbest rule your school ever enforced? My school banned water bottles. A water drinking fad started at my school, mostly among girls, and soon all of them were walking around carrying plastic purified water bottles from the major brands. They all wanted to look health conscious and cool. But then it became a matter of showing off who can be the most healthy and hydrated, so having a mere 750 milliliters bottle wasn't enough anymore. So the girls began bringing larger and larger water bottles and jugs to school to outshine one another. Eventually they began carrying 5 liters plastic jugs with them all over the school grounds. It looked silly. Eventually the guys jumped on board the fad and brought even larger water containers to school. One guy brought a baggage trolley to school on which he transported a 20 liters industrial water dispenser bottle. At this point the principal had had enough. It was a posh, image-conscious school with fancy uniforms and he didn't like seeing the students all lugging around big plastic jugs of water, looking like homeless people. So he banned any and all water bottles from school and told the students to drink water from the bathroom taps and other drinking fountains. This is dumb because drinking water regularly is healthy. He could have simply banned all bottles over 750 milliliters and could have simply told us to keep the bottles hidden away in our bags and out of sight when walking around between classes.